Manila, Philippines. The West Philippine Sea is once again a flashpoint of international tension, drawing the eyes of the world to this contested stretch of water. What was once a distant maritime dispute has now become a daily headline, with every new incident raising the stakes for the region and beyond. A routine resupply mission to the BRP Sierra Madre, a rusting but resolute outpost at Ayungin Shoal, escalated into a dangerous confrontation that has captured global attention. Chinese Coast Guard vessels unleashed powerful water cannons, injuring several Filipino crewmen and causing significant damage to Philippine ships. The attack left sailors shaken, but determined to hold their ground. This is part of a pattern: China's gray zone tactics. Media. Chinese Coast Guard ships blocking passage, swarming fishing vessels in disputed waters, aerial view of fishing boats clustered in West Philippine Sea, blockades, swarming fishing grounds, and non-lethal force to assert control, such as ramming, blinding lights, and blaring loudspeakers, all designed to intimidate without triggering outright war. Videos released by the Philippine government and shared widely on social media reveal the stark reality of these confrontations, igniting both national pride and widespread outrage among Filipinos at home and abroad. The conflict is no longer abstract. It's a direct threat to Filipino lives and sovereignty. For the families of those at sea, the danger is personal and immediate. The stakes are high. The nation's exclusive economic zone, rich in fish, oil, and gas, is at risk. These resources are vital for the country's food security and economic future. And beyond resources, the freedom of navigation through these busy sea lanes is crucial for international trade, not just for the Philippines, but for the entire world. Each incident tests Manila's endurance and the resolve of its allies, especially as joint military exercises and diplomatic statements signal growing international concern. The Philippines stands on the front line, defending not just its territory, but the principle that rules, not might, should govern international relations. Legal victories and international law are its shield. The world is watching closely as the region's peace and stability hang in the balance, with every move scrutinized by global leaders and institutions. The question now: how does a middle power defend its rights against a determined giant? The answer may shape not just the future of the West Philippine Sea, but the rules of the global order itself. The West Philippine Sea dispute has emerged as the Philippines' most pressing national security challenge, shaping the country's future and its place in the world. This conflict is no longer just about territory or lines on a map. It's about the very core of national identity, the pride of the Filipino people, and the right to self-determination for generations to come. China's sweeping 9-line claim directly threatens the Philippines' exclusive economic zone, as recognized by international law and the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea. Accepting China's claim would mean surrendering not only vast maritime resources, like fish, oil, and gas, but also the nation's strategic autonomy and the livelihoods of countless Filipinos. Control over these waters is about more than resources. It's about military strength, regional influence, and geopolitical leverage in Southeast Asia's complex landscape. For the Philippines, losing control would mean increased vulnerability, restricted access to vital global trade routes, and a weakened position in the international economy. Defending the West Philippine Sea is synonymous with defending the nation's future, its prosperity, and the dreams of every Filipino child. Manila stands firm for a rules-based international order, championing the cause of international law and justice for all nations, big or small. The ongoing struggle is a test of whether the law of the sea will triumph over the law of the jungle, setting a precedent for the entire world. The Philippines has chosen to stand for law, order, and national dignity, defending its sovereignty with courage and unwavering resolve. Under President Marcos Jr., Philippine foreign policy has shifted to assertive transparency. Gone is the era of quiet diplomacy. Now, Manila vocally defends its maritime rights. This stance is backed by overwhelming public support, fueled by viral images of Chinese harassment. Civil society and fishing communities rally behind the government, making assertiveness a national movement. The administration invokes the 2016 Arbitral Award and internationalizes the issue, building global support. This approach is risky, inviting stronger Chinese responses, but inaction has proven even riskier. The government believes only strength and resolve can deter further aggression. For many Filipinos, this is the only path to survival and self-respect. The conflict in the West Philippine Sea is a gray zone war, not open combat. China uses its Coast Guard and maritime militia to blockade, harass, and exhaust Philippine forces. Filipino fishermen are driven from their traditional grounds, while every resupply mission becomes perilous. China's goal: establish control without open warfare. In response, the Philippines has launched a transparency campaign, documenting and publicizing every incident. High-resolution images and videos expose China's actions, rallying domestic and international support. This strategy turns information into a weapon, holding China accountable on the world stage. The camera has become Manila's most potent tool in the gray zone. The Philippines' diplomatic strategy centers on international law, anchored by the 2016 Hague ruling. The tribunal rejected China's 9-dash line, affirming Philippine rights in its exclusive economic zone. Manila raises the award in every international forum, framing the dispute as a matter of law, not just territory. New legislation, like the Maritime Zones Act, further cements these claims domestically. This legal approach gives the Philippines moral high ground and builds a coalition of supportive nations. By invoking the Arbitral Award, Manila isolates Beijing diplomatically. The law is both shield and sword, leveling the playing field against a stronger adversary. International law has become Manila's most powerful diplomatic weapon. Diplomacy alone isn't enough, so the Philippines is modernizing its armed forces. The Horizon program shifts focus to external defense, acquiring new ships, jets, and missile systems. Modern frigates and Fa-50 jets boost patrol and response capabilities. The BrahMos supersonic cruise missile system from India is a game-changer, deterring naval threats. Partnerships with Israel bring advanced surveillance and air defense technology. These upgrades don't aim to match China ship for ship, but to raise the cost of aggression. The AFP is building a credible deterrent, signaling Manila's resolve to defend its waters. Modernization marks a new era of Philippine self-defense. The Philippines is revitalizing alliances, with the U.S. Mutual Defense Treaty at the core. Annual Balacadan exercises now simulate island defense and maritime security. Japan and Australia have become key partners, providing equipment and conducting joint patrols. Minilateral security arrangements create a united front among Indo-Pacific democracies. The new partnership with Israel brings Spider air defense systems and UAVs, enhancing the AFP's capabilities. This move is controversial, given global scrutiny of Israel, but Manila prioritizes national security. The government argues that defense needs must come first, regardless of a partner's other entanglements. These alliances and acquisitions show the difficult choices required to protect sovereignty. The Philippines is building a multi-layered defense shield for a new era. Despite consensus on defending the West Philippine Sea, debate rages over how best to do it. Critics warn that assertiveness could provoke China and harm the economy, advocating for quiet diplomacy. They fear economic retaliation and argue for engagement over confrontation. Nationalists and security hardliners, meanwhile, call for even stronger measures: more patrols, more military acquisitions, and joint operations with allies. The government must balance deterrence with prudence, reassuring business while satisfying public demand for sovereignty. This debate reflects the high stakes and complexity of the challenge. Finding the right balance is the central test of Philippine statecraft today. The outcome will shape the nation's strategic direction for years to come. The West Philippine Sea crisis is not just a regional dispute, it's a global flashpoint, closely monitored by major powers and international organizations. The world's attention is fixed on these contested waters, where every move is scrutinized and every incident has the potential to escalate. The United States views Manila's stance as a cornerstone of its Indo-Pacific strategy, reinforcing its commitment with security guarantees, regular joint patrols, and a visible military presence in the region. Washington's support is both diplomatic and tangible, signaling to allies and rivals alike that it stands firmly with the Philippines. Japan, Australia, and European powers have also stepped up, sending their own ships and participating in joint military exercises. Their involvement demonstrates a united front, emphasizing the importance of upholding international law and freedom of navigation in these strategic waters. For these nations, the outcome of this dispute sets a critical precedent. If China prevails, the rules-based international order could be undermined, threatening the stability of maritime law and global norms everywhere. The growing involvement of allies and partners raises the stakes dramatically, increasing the risk that a local incident could spiral into a much wider conflict, drawing in more countries and destabilizing the region. Every standoff in the West Philippine Sea is a test of American credibility and resolve, and each confrontation could potentially trigger the Mutual Defense Treaty between the U.S. and the Philippines, with far-reaching consequences. Meanwhile, China accuses the Philippines of acting as a U.S. pawn, portraying itself as the aggrieved party defending its sovereignty and interests, and using state media to shape international perceptions. Manila faces a delicate balancing act, maintaining its alliance with the U.S. while managing its complex relationship with China. The Philippines must leverage international support without sacrificing its own agency or provoking further escalation. Today, the Philippines stands at the epicenter of a rapidly shifting global order, its choices and actions reverberating far beyond its shores and influencing the future of the entire Indo-Pacific region. How the Philippines navigates this complex and dangerous challenge will help shape Asia's security architecture for decades to come, determining whether peace and stability can be maintained in these contested waters.